Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Prime Minister and asks, does he stand by his statement regarding proposed changes to the Foreshore and Seabed Act that, quote, I don't think people will notice a lot of change, close quote?
The Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, yes.
David Garrett.
Supplementary, Mr Speaker. Does he think people would notice being charged for access to the beach and the sea?
The Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, yes, and I don't think there will be.
David Garrett.
Will he commit to prohibiting Maori owners of section of coastline from charging New Zealanders for access to the beach and the sea?
The Honourable Prime Minister.
Well, Mr Speaker, a couple of points. One thing is that we have ensured that access to the Foreshore and Seabed is absolute and is preserved for New Zealanders. The member seems to be asking a question in general about property rights, and so for the member's education, maybe I could just quote this to him, because I find it quite interesting, and it comes from Richard Prebble, and it was made in this House. And the former leader said, this party is in favour of property rights, and we accept that there are some parts of New Zealand, not many, but some, where Maori do have property rights on the foreshore. The ACT Party stands for that. We do not get upset about that, because we have known that since 1840 it has not caused any trouble up until now, and we would not have panicked. Mr Speaker, that was the principled ACT Party position.
Point of order, Mr Speaker.
Point of order, David Garrett.
Mr Speaker, the question was very simple and carefully worded. And the first few words were, will he commit to prohibiting...
I apologise, Honourable Member, but point of order has been called and it will be heard in silence. David Garrett.
Mr Speaker, the question was inviting of a yes or no answer. Will he commit to prohibiting, etc.? And I only managed to scribble the first few words. We have ensured that access is ensured, etc., etc. That is not an answer to a question of whether the Prime Minister will commit to prohibiting charging for access to the beach and the sea.
Order. Members should not be interjecting when the Speaker is considering a point of order. I cannot ask specifically for a yes or no answer from ministers, but I'd invite the Prime Minister, to, having heard the question repeated, to see if he can just be a little closer to the question. Now, I do appreciate the Prime Minister said access is assured, but what the answer didn't indicate was whether it was assured at no cost. The Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, I cannot for the life of me conceive of any reason why anyone could be charging the average New Zealander to enjoy public access to the beach.
The Honourable Jim Anderton.
Mr Speaker, when the Prime Minister said, quote, I don't think people will notice a lot of change, end quote, did he mean that nothing will really change, and if this is the case, why has he bothered to make the change at all? Or did he mean that people will not notice the change until it's too late?
The Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, what I meant was that because the government has guaranteed absolute access to the foreshore and seabed, the average New Zealander is not going to notice a change. I think the people who will notice a change is Maori, who will have an opportunity to test in the courts their customary title.
Question number 12, the Honourable David Parker.